Hi guys, and welcome to this week's video. So this week I'm going to be doing some work in our bathroom. So as you can see behind me, this used to be our kitchen before we made a brand new kitchen in the carport, which you can watch the videos online. But we turned this into a downstairs bedroom. And one of the advantages of that is there's also a downstairs toilet. The problem is, in order to access the toilet, you have to go through a sort of small sunroom, which gets very cold in the winter. And in the bathroom itself, no one's put any ventilation in there. So there is a window, but the problem is it still gets very, very steamy in there. So what we're going to try and do is install a fan so that we can get rid of the air as quickly as possible. As I say, in the middle of the summer, the window is fine. But as we're getting closer to the winter, we don't really want to open the window. We'd rather turn on a fan and get rid of the humidity that way. Obviously, the other thing we want to try and do is put some insulation in, because at the moment there's no insulation in the bathroom. So we want to try and put some insulation. Now we can either put some insulation on the top, but we've already pulled up some of the roof tiles and had a look, and there's not much room. So what I'm going to do is we're going to put insulation from inside and then put a new ceiling. Two things that's good about that is, one, that we're going to get some insulation, but two, we can kind of put a new roof onto our bathroom and revamp it a little bit. And what we're going to do is use the same wood, the same ceiling that we used for our kitchen. So even better, we don't have to pay for it. So the first thing I'm going to do is try and work out where the fan is going to go and cut a hole so that we can put the fan there and we know where the fan's going. And then we're going to install the insulation around it and put the roof up and then install the fan. So I suppose I better get going. So here I am in the bathroom, and as you can see, we've got the shower here, sink behind me, and a toilet. Obviously there's the window that currently gives the ventilation, but if I turn around, there's the door to our bedroom, and as you can see, the sunroom that we walk through. So we're going to have to do something about kind of creating some sort of corridor in the sunroom, which we're planning to do with a curtain, an insulating curtain, and putting a bit of a roof on and things like that, so that we can still access and use the sunroom in the summer. And it's fantastic in spring and autumn because the sun comes in, it heats it up, but when it's a bit too cold outside, you can still sit outside. So that's really good. So we're going to keep that room functionable. But I'm here in the bathroom, and the plan is to cut a hole in the ceiling there so that we can get the fan in. But as you can see, it's in pretty good condition, apart from this pine roof, which I really don't like. So putting a white roof on will be really good. So let's get going. So once we've cut the hole, where you can see there, what we've realised is actually that there is some insulation in the roof, which is good news. But we're going to put some more in anyway. One, because when if you can see these wooden battens here, they're 5 centimeters, and that's what we're going to attach our new ceiling to. So there's going to be a gap there anyway. So we're going to fill it with more insulation, and that way, hopefully, when we have the heater on in here, it'll be as efficient as possible. So as you can see, we've cut and measured one length of insulation, and I was planning on gluing it, but we've cut it so well and it fits so well, it's just stuck up there, which is fantastic. Now we're going to do this bit. I've taken the light off, and I'll have to cut a hole around the insulation for that. And obviously if I whiz around here, we've got a hole for the fan, and I have to cut a hole for that. So now we've got to get the next piece of insulation on. So here we are, and we've got some of the insulation up. I haven't done the slopes bit yet, but I've taped it all up. One of the things I've noticed is the wiring for the light is really poor. It's obviously quite old, and there's lots of cuts in the wiring. So I'm going to sort of replace the wiring. You can see the hole that I've created here. I've pulled the wiring out, and now I'm going to feed a new wire in. But in order to do that, I have to do it from the roof. So there we are. I've now changed the wiring for the light. That was quite old, and also it didn't have an earth. So I've now earthed it. I've changed the wiring. I haven't done anything but just replaced this bit of wiring here. But I've also put in the wiring ready for the fan that's going there. So all of the wiring is done, so the next bit to do is start putting on the wood. So that's it, I've got all of the ceiling up, as you can see, all the way around. It's made the bathroom a lot lighter an area, being a white ceiling, so I'm really happy with that. The only thing is now I need to finish putting the extractor fan and obviously the edging all the way around just to make it looking neat and tidy. Yeah, I'm happy for that. That's a good day's work, and I think tomorrow I'll do the edgings. So there we are. What I've done is I put a tube here ready for the ventilation, and it's going up through the kind of little roof, and I've also fixed it to a roof tile up on the roof. So hopefully that will all be watertight. And now the next bit is to install the fan and see if it works. As you can see, I've actually put an additional bit of waterproofing because the unit that I bought doesn't cover the whole tile, and we've got quite big tiles, so I probably should have bought one that had an extra large kind of flashing. Because of that, I was a bit worried that water might actually get back in underneath the flashing that comes with the pipe that goes up through the chimney or through the roof. And so what I've done is I've had to just use another little bit of flashing on top just to make sure that there's absolutely no chance of water getting in. It's not the prettiest of finishes, but to be honest with you, I would rather have a dry roof or a roof that doesn't let any water in than a pretty roof. So I'm pretty happy with it. It's okay. Maybe in the future I'll change it and make it for a red one so you don't notice it so much, but for the moment I've just done that. There we are, we've got the fan installed and it's on and working, which is always a good relief. So the next stage is to silicone around the edge of the shower. So there we are, the ceiling's all finished, so hopefully we shouldn't get any humidity in there. That's another little job ticked off the list. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this week's video, and don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you don't miss out on future videos, and I'll see you next time. Cheers guys, bye!